Hello, welcome to KLC podcast number 3. This is Chris Loves Crochet. I'm Chris. I love crochet. And thank you so much for tuning in to the podcast. And let's see, I'm just going to let you see some of my makes for this week. Some of the things that I finished, some of the things that I'm working on, some of the things I plan to work on. Let's see, and maybe some of them will give you some ideas, some things that you might want to do. So the first thing I finished, bunching up, I finished my Spring Fling t-shirt that I made into a dress. This is from Jennifer from Cinnamon Stitches, and I made this from, it's called Cotton Rainbow, and it's one of the yarns that I can get here in Bangkok. But I did see, and I always get this backwards, is it Llama Mama Kayla? Llama Kayla. I think it's Llama Mama Kayla. Llama Mama Kayla. She is making one too, and hers looks exactly like mine. So, and she's not in Bangkok, so I was watching to see what she's using, and she's using the Caron, I just wrote it down somewhere. I think it's just, just Caron cotton cakes. And I went out and I looked for a picture of it. I'm going to put it in here so you can see a picture of it compared to the one that I'm using. And it may be, maybe not, maybe the same thing. This feels like it has a lot of cotton in it. I just washed it and let it air dry because there aren't any dryers here. You get to hang dry everything, although there's a pretty good spin in my washer. Let's see. So I finished this, and I am going to put a picture in here of the full length, since it is a dress, and I just love it. It feels so good. This yarn feels so good and feels so soft. Not like squishy soft, but like breathable soft and really smooth soft. Anyway, I'm loving it. I might wear it to work tomorrow. I don't know why it's starting to bunch up. Anyway, you'd think that I would trust myself by now. I knew that I needed to make it a little bit shorter because with the weight of it, it's going to stretch as I wear it. And it's already just a tad longer than I want it to be as far as where the waist hits. You can't really see, but I wanted it to be a little bit higher up. And anyway, and then the length of it, I did stop short. It made it short. I did stop short of where I thought it needed to be because I know it's going to stretch a little bit because yarn is heavy, and so it's going to stretch. I also wanted to mention I just did my hair. I mean, like, just did it a couple hours ago. Like, I do it myself. I buzz it and then cut it and then I bleach it. And so anyway, it's showing up a little bit yellow, a little brassy, but I have some purple shampoo. No worries. It's going to eventually, next week or two, kind of tone down a little bit. That's what it always does. So I finished this. The other thing that I started working on with another one of these rainbow cakes, that's like Caron cotton cakes, is the Foxtrot. Why do I never remember? It's Global Shawl with Foxtrot border from Krista at the Secret Yarnery. So this is my shawl. I have several like silk scarves that I wear, shawls that are shaped like this that I wear around my shoulders. Look at all those colors. I'm not quite sure that they all go together. But I wear a lot of these in the classroom because the AC gets a little chilly sometimes because it blows right down on you. So, but one of my favorite ones, kind of a peachy pink, and it got, in the wash, it got some colors on it, and not good colors and not in the right places. So I had to replace it. Plus I wanted to make one of these. So It's with another one of the balls like this, one of the cakes like this, but then I use some of that fun fringe foxtrot border that Krista did at Secret Yarnery. She just outdid herself. This is such a fabulous, I mean, the shawl is one thing, which I just love, but then the border itself is like a whole nother thing. And yes, I know that it's much brighter than the rest of it, but it picks up those colors, and then it's just kind of a ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. I just love it. So I can't wear these together tomorrow, but I might wear the dress. Tomorrow is my crochet club meeting tomorrow with the students, so I always like to wear something that I've made so that they can see all the things that they can do if they just keep practicing. So these are the two things basically that I did. Did I do anything else? I don't think so. I think I made a koozie, maybe another coaster, but no, I just made these. These are kind of big though. They're kind of big projects, and I'm pretty excited that I finished. I even sewed in all the ends, wove in all the ends. So yay me, I'm so excited. So yeah, so cinnamon stitches for the Spring Fling summer t-shirt, and Llama Mama Kayla is making the same one, so you can go watch hers. She's doing video. She is the most beautiful person. I love her so much. She and her husband Big Daddy, they've been doing some out and about videos, and today was a video of the museum, and I'm so excited that they allowed them to video in the museum. Really interesting pieces, really loved it. And she stopped and she did a little crocheting there, like she did last week at the zoo, but she was crocheting in the museum, and she was crocheting her Spring Fling t-shirt, and it looks an awful lot like this, the same colors and everything. So anyway, go over there, Llama Mama Kayla, and see her working on hers from Cinnamon Stitches. And then this was from Secret Yarnery, the global shawl with foxtrot border. Very yummy. So those are the only finished objects that I have to show you. Some of the things that I'm working on, that I just started working on, one of them, this was so exciting. I happened into it today, actually. This was some of my new yarn that I showed you last time. Isn't that fabulous? This is called, I showed you last time, but it's called Magic Color Van Gogh, and it's one of these that that I got here in Bangkok. Does it say what it's made of? I don't know. It says superwash wool. So it feels like it has some wool in it. I just love the colors. It's not super soft. You can definitely feel that there's wool in it, but it's a pretty thin yarn, and it's roving a little bit. Some of it gets a little bit thicker and then gets thinner. But I used the Google image search, and I found another yarn that looks a lot like this, and I think it's British. At least the only ones that I found were priced in pounds, but I'll put that up here. I can't remember now what it's called, but I'll put it up here. You could see it. And they have lots of different colors, but it looks very similar to this. And so what I'm making is from Fiber Spider. Yes, Fiber Spider. From Fiber Spider. It is a Bruges lace circular shawl, spiral shawl, Bruges lace spiral shawl. And so I haven't gotten into any of this cool pink yet, but sorry, Leanne, I know you're calling me. I'm making a video. I'll call you back. Not that you'll see this. Anyway, so it's the Bruges lace, which I've done this before, but I made a scarf. I have a tutorial on an old tutorial on my channel of how to make this interlocking. I think that's what I called it, interlocking. Anyway, he was showing how to do it as a spiral. Now, if I had done it exactly like he said, which, you know, well, you're going to get to know I don't do anything exactly as anybody says. I'm a rebel. But it would have come together like this and then gone around, around, around. And then he just folds it over and puts it on as a shawl. Well, I decided to do it a little bit differently and have it's still the whole circle. And so I'm making the increases just like he does. But when I got to the end, instead of connecting, I just turned it and did a little fiddle faddle to make it work to go back around. So it's going to be a nice big shawl. It's nothing so far, but it's going to be a nice big shawl with these wonderful colors. I'm very excited. I'm sure I have enough of this. This has 400 meters and I have 6 skeins of this. So yes, I'm pretty sure I have plenty to make this shawl. Very excited about that. When I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, I never even thought about putting something that's like the Bruges lace. It's almost like a border kind of a thing. You know, you have a certain number of, anyway, never thought about trying to figure out how to make that into a circle or a spiral. I mean, this will be beautiful as a spiral, like he says in his video, in his tutorial video, for like a tablecloth or something like that, or just or even like a lapgan, something like that. It's so beautiful, the Bruges lace, and it's so fun to find something else to work it into. So fun. I'm so glad that I found that. Thank you, Fiber Spider. I will link the tutorial down in the description box, as I will this one for cinnamon stitches and the foxtrot, the global shawl with foxtrot border for Secret Yarnery, down in the description box. Another thing I'm still working on slowly. I'm not into all this counting business, but I'm working on, you can see this smiley face, and this is the bottom of a heart, and it's going to say, be true, be kind, find your joy. This is the first time I've done it, and like I said before, it's not really clear, but I think that it's going to turn out okay. So I'm still working on that with my little bobbins hanging. Still working on that. It will eventually be a little pillow, and I'm pretty excited about it. The other main thing that I'm working on is another thing from Secret Yarnery. She's doing the Bloomscape CAL, and I've done all of the squares so far. She's working on another one, but this was the first one. I don't remember what they all are called, and I haven't done my tails, but this is the first little flower. They're all beautiful flowers. I don't know what order they went in. I just have a stack of them, and kind of leaves it up to you as to what colors to do. So I just picked what colors I wanted to do. And another blue one. I wish I could remember what they were all called. One's a zinnia, one's a carnation, one's a, I don't think a daisy. I don't remember. I should have looked. I'm sorry. But they're all 3D. See, they all like stick up like that. Really cool. And so on the back, they're flat. Mine, because I'm using different size yarn, different weight yarns, because when I first started ordering yarn here, I didn't understand what they said, because it didn't say like 2 weight, 3 weight, 4 weight, 5 weight. It said ply. And it wasn't the British kind of ply or Australian ply. It was actual. Anyway, so some of it's 3, some of it's 4. I think one of them's 5. And really makes a difference. Anyway, so it kind of bubbles up, but I'm not worried about it. It's a blanket. Gonna be. It's not, obviously not a blanket yet. But here's the rose. The rose, like my roses. So she made one of her fabulous roses on a square. Isn't that beautiful? And, oh, that one I haven't finished the square. It's still attached. I was like, why won't it move? It's still attached. This is my neutral color that I'm making for the garden. And then, ooh, this one's kind of rolling up a little bit. Sunflower. I was really excited for this one. So there's little leaves back there in the back. They stand up. It's really fancy schmancy. There's some more flowers I just have not put on on a square yet. Is that the dahlia? I think that's the dahlia. And then little poppy. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? Anyway, so I'm working on that and I can't wait. I think there's a new one coming out any day now. There's a new one. I think it's an iris. I'm not sure. I'm really excited though. They're so pretty. She put so much work into them and so many tries in order to get them just right. I'm really looking forward to see the next one. So I'm working on that. And I think that's really all I have to share with you. It's kind of short, huh? Kind of short. And I haven't yet. So I put out the survey, and I mentioned it in the last video. I put out the survey to see where you want to, what you want to see here in Bangkok next. So if you are interested in going to my YouTube channel and go to the community tab and put in your vote for either the fresh market where there's fresh fruits and vegetables and meats and stuff like that to get, or a motorcycle ride, a motorcycle taxi and kind of see the traffic around here. It's kind of crazy. Or go to a big mall, big gorgeous fancy mall in Bangkok, maybe Siam or what's that other one called? Terminal 21. Nice. The cafeteria is not cafeteria, but the food court, amazing. Let's see. So that's about it. We're getting ready at school. I mentioned at the beginning of this, I am here in Bangkok because I am teaching at an international school here. I am teaching basically high school level psychology and economics. It's the UK British curriculum. So it's the IGCSE and A levels, psychology and economics. And so we are getting near the time for their exams. So that's exciting. So we're doing revision. It took me forever to really understand. I'm such an American to really understand. Not that's a bad thing. I'm just saying I get so stuck sometimes in my own culture that it took a while and I still have to say it a lot. Revision. To me, that means revising. You take something, you make it different, right? You revise it. It's revision. But no, that means study. That means to study something. So we're going through a lot of revision, getting ready for their big exams coming up. And I'm still figuring some things out as a teacher in an international school, in a different culture, in Thai culture. There are a lot of Indian students. That's not the only culture that's there. There's Indian, there's Thai, Taiwanese, Russian, British, Filipino, and I'm sure many more that I don't know. Australian, Scottish, different, and then some of the teachers, Kazakh from Kazakhstan, African. I'm making this face because I can't remember where he's from because I keep getting confused with Krista at the Secret Yarnery, and she's in Kenya. He's not from Kenya. He's from I wish I could remember. Oh, that's horrible. I'm sorry. Chinese teacher. Anyway, lots of different cultures represented. Lots of different nationalities. It's pretty amazing. But anyway, so I've taught for 20 years. And I taught for 20 years all in the US, all in Texas, all at public schools. First couple of years was at a charter school, but basically in ISDs, right, in Texas, public school system. And really, when you're talking about on level or the regular level, not special ed and not advanced classes. The most important thing for those kids is to teach them responsibility, right? And you give an assignment, you expect them to do it the way that you want them to do it. I mean, there's some creativity. That's not what I mean. But when you want them to do it, because it's assigned, because it's an assignment. And if they don't do it, then their grades reflect it. If they don't do it on time, then their grades reflect it. Their grades go into then their GPA, which then also goes into their credits, which goes into their diploma, right? It's all a big package deal in the US. In the British curriculum, at least at this international school in Thailand, this is all I have to go by. But they're getting ready for university. Most of the students are getting ready for university, and they need their score. So they want their IGCSEs or O levels to be done and get the highest scores that they can, so that looks good on their transcript. And then that moves them into AS and A2 levels, the A levels, which is, so IGCSE is basically 9th and 10th grade, and then AS is 11th grade, and A2 is 12th grade. So as they're getting ready for those exams, the A levels especially is really important. Those are really important for their transcript, for acceptance into university, and possibly even some college credit when they go in. But it's not about the diploma. It's not about the GPA. It's about the application. It's about these test scores. So in order to have, the kids are very, very polite. Really enjoy the kids. They're very polite and have nothing that I can complain about at all. They're very, very, very polite, very attentive. But I realized they don't do what I ask them to do all the time or on time. On time is not something that they really seem to be that worried about. They are motivated to do well on their exams. So it's teaching to the test, but that's not a bad thing necessarily if the test goes over the curriculum and tests them on the whole curriculum. Well, our curriculum is based on the syllabus and the syllabi from Cambridge that make the exam. So yeah, I mean, you go over the syllabus for the exam, you're going over the syllabus for the course. And so here with the British curriculum, yeah, it's a pretty good, well-rounded, robust syllabus. So teaching to the test is not a bad thing. What I have to always make sure that I'm doing in my backwards planning, you teachers know backwards planning, in my backwards planning is to make sure that it is directly linked to the exam, how the exam questions are asked, the syllabus topics, not what I believe is important for them to learn, which comes from the syllabus and the curriculum, obviously. But sometimes, you know, as a teacher and somebody who's been in the real world and how I can, you know, link it to the real world. Anyway, it's been a different way of approaching teaching, and really makes me be really careful about what it is that I'm spending their time on. Make sure that it's for the test. I'm not complaining about it. I'm learning about it, and trying to make sure that my teaching is in line with what they expect and what they not just what they expect, but what they need, what the culture is demanding of them, what the culture sees as successful, not what I see as successful, what Americans see as successful. It's not the only way to look at things. So it's a really interesting thing that I'm doing, I think. Anyway, I hope that next time I will have a video to put on the end here, and it's looking like a mall. It's looking like a mall. So unless you guys go out there and add your votes if you want something different, go ahead and go out and vote on the survey, and I will take y'all with me somewhere, and have it on the next video. So anyway, thank you very much for stopping in. I really appreciate your time, and I hope that you're enjoying it. And I just want to say again, be true, be kind, and find your joy. I love you all. Mwah. Love you. Mwah.